Hello my friends and welcome back to another Sewcialites quilt along video. In today's video we are doing block number 24, the abundant block designed by Robin Pickens. This Sewcialites quilt along was created by Fat Quarters Shop, and I have a link in the description below, so if you want to join me in this awesome fun blocks tutorials, go ahead and click the link below and download the PDF and you can join along with me. In today's video we are going to be doing this tulip block. How fun is this? I've never done one of these, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I've already cut out all my fabrics. I've got my background fabrics here and I have my printed fabrics here. In the background fabrics, I've labeled them A, B, and C, and I'm doing the 6-inch block. There are 3 different sizes. There's a 3-inch and a 9-inch as well. For my background fabrics, I have A here, and I've cut out 2 3 by 3.5 inch rectangles. For B, I have 3 1.5 by 2.5 inch rectangles, and for C, I have 1.5 inch squares. I have 2 of these. In my printed fabrics, for D, I have 1 2.5 by 6.5 inch rectangle, and E, I have 2 3-inch squares, and F, I have 1 1.5 by 3.5 inch rectangle, and G, I have 6 1.5 inch squares. And as you can see with the printed fabrics, they're different. This is going to be the leaves here for E, and F is the stem, and then these are going to be the petals of the tulip here. So this should be really a lot of fun. So let's get started. You're going to need G and B. First, we're going to do some flying geese units. So set aside your G and B and we'll get started. So the first thing I usually do is I will go and read through the directions on how to make the block. And if there's any lines I need to draw, that's what I do first. So for this first block assembly, which is flying geese, what you need to do is take all your 6 pieces of the 1.5 inch squares and draw a diagonal line on the back of each of those pieces. And we are going to then I'm just going to take these labels off, show you. You're going to flip your G over with your diagonal line, and then you're just going to place it in one corner, doesn't matter which corner, and then sew along that line, and you should get a piece that looks like this. As you can see, I've sewn along the line, and now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut a 1/4 inch. So taking my ruler, I am going to put it on the line here, a 1/4 inch. Just like that. Throw that away, and there you go. Press it open. You can iron it now. Finger press it open, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take your one other block of G, and you're going to sew along that line, and then you'll then iron it open and get your flying geese. You'll need 3 of these, and then we will move on to the next unit. My flying geese units are all done, and the next thing you're going to do with these 3 units is sew them together in a line like this. So all I'm going to do is put them facing each other, sew 1/4 inch seam here, and then I'm going to iron that seam open, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing over here and sew along here and iron it open, and then we should have the top part of the petals of the tulip. I'll show you that, and then we'll move on to the next unit. Now we have the petal unit finished. We can now go on to the middle part of the tulip, and for that you're going to need D and C. I have D and C here. D is your long printed fabric and C is a background fabric, and I have drawn a diagonal line on the back of each one. Doesn't matter which one, just as long as you put both these squares on the opposite side and make sure that your diagonal line's going like this, because this will be the middle part of your tulip, and it's gonna look like this. I've already sewn this one in, so I'll just show you. I'm gonna cut it 1/4 inch from my sewn line and finger press it open for you. I will iron it open. There you go. And so it's gonna look something like this when it's done, and this one here is gonna be folded as well. Like, I just need to sew that. Once I've done that, I will show you. And here's the finished result of the middle row, and here's the top row with the petals. Isn't that freaking adorable? So the next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna take A, background fabric, and E, the printed fabric, and we're gonna do the leaves. Now this one here, you are going to have to be careful of how you place it, because there is, as you can see in the picture here, there is a left side and a right side from your stem. I've already done the left side, but let me make sure that you have drawn a line, diagonal line from corner to corner on both your E's. And here, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take, so like this, A and E, and you are going to put it at the bottom of A. It's like this. And then you're gonna sew along this line. Now, I've already done this one, but I haven't like ironed it open or cut it, right? So there you go. That's what it's gonna look like. I'll just cut 1/4 inch seam from here. Sewn line. My line wasn't very straight. And then you'll see, once I finger press this open, that's one side, one of the leaves. And then you just gotta make sure that this one here is gonna go the opposite way when you iron it open. So something like that, I think. Or maybe I have it upside down. Maybe it should be like this. Yeah, there we go. Just like this. So there's your stem and your leaves for your tulips. I'm gonna finish this, iron this open, and I shall return. Now that I have both my leaves done, I have F here, the stem, and now all I'm gonna do is sew my leaves to the stem, right sides together, 1/4 inch seam, sew along here, iron it open, and then I'm gonna do the exact same thing over here, right sides together, 1/4 inch seam, iron it open. When I'm done this, I will lay it out for you and we will start sewing the rows. I have all my rows laid out. Petal row, the top row, the middle of the tulip, the middle row, and my leaves row. Now all I'm gonna do is put these right sides together like this. I'm gonna sew 1/4 inch seam, iron it open, and then I'm gonna do the same with the bottom row, 1/4 inch seam, and iron it open, and the block will be finished. I'm gonna do this, and when I come back I will have a finished tulip block, or as Robin Pickens called it, an abundant block. And this was actually a lot of fun. And here we go. The abundant block designed by Robin Pickens. Adorable. So cute. I loved it. And really a simple pattern to follow. I really enjoyed this. This would be so cute as a little spring quilt, you know, or a throw quilt or something like that. The next week, we are doing a virtue block designed by Bonnie Ovelson for the Sewcialites quilt along, and this is block 25. And I will be doing the 6-inch block. I only need 2 background fabric and 2 printed fabrics. So let's get into our stash and see if we can't find these pieces. What you'll need is, in the 6-inch block, if you're doing the 6-inch block, you'll need 4 2.5-inch squares in the background fabric and 8 1.5 by 2.5 inch rectangles. For the printed fabric, you'll need 1 2.5-inch square and 16 1.5-inch squares. Please join me next week for the Sewcialite quilt along created by Fat Quarter Shop for our next block. And I want to thank everyone who joined me today. And please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. It's free. And hit the like button and the notification bell. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful quilt day. Bye!